A beautiful day is coming to an end. It's that best time of day again. Why not watch an episode of Helper before bed? Sleeping Wilderness Life. It's your stress reliever after a long day. After watching this, I guarantee you'll drift off to sleep soundly. Ah Chong was wearing thin clothes, strolling through the snow-covered pine forest. Away from the hustle and bustle of city life, it always makes people feel refreshed. Feeling relaxed, 2 hours later, he found a large fallen tree deep in the woods. Tree roots, along with soil, formed a low wall, dependent on him. Building a shelter will save a lot of effort. So Kong put down his backpack, trimmed the tangled roots, removed the snow, dead roots, and rotten leaves near the tree trunk. Clean up. This will be the location of his shelter. In this lush forest. The one thing we have no shortage of is wood. Fallen tree trunks were everywhere. Ah Chong just needs to cut them into suitable lengths. It can be used to build walls for temporary shelters, in an environment of striving. All that could be heard was the sound of him chopping down trees. Working in such a beautiful environment, he didn't feel tired at all. It took more than an hour. Ah Chong placed the collected tree trunks on the tree roots. Build a wall frame. It's clear that his shelter isn't very large. However, it's enough for one person to live in. Then, Ah Chong began collecting pine branches with needles, used to improve the wall section. This way, the branches are piled up, layer by layer, at the bottom. Cover up the gaps in the wall. He was very careful and meticulous during the process. Ensure that snow and wind cannot enter the shelter. Lush pine branches were laid out inside the shelter, used as a bed, soft, comfortable, and moisture. With that, Ah Kyung's temporary accommodation was successfully completed. He found some stones under the roots of a nearby tree. So they dug them out piece by piece. The cold weather had already turned Ah Kyung's hands red. The sky began to darken at this time. He wanted to pave the doorway with these stones. It's easier to light a campfire and keep warm up on top. These dead branches on the tree are easier to ignite. Ah Chong folded them down little by little. Move back to camp. Oily tree bark is the best kindling. He only needs one match to light it quickly. The slowly rising wisps of smoke broke the tranquility of the woods. This added a touch of human habitation to the area. Ah Chong sat by the fire, drying damp clothes. He quickly regained his energy. He made a handy spatula out of a small twig. Then he took out his treasured minced meat, pressed the meat into patties, and placed them flat in the pan. Simply add some seasonings. You can then slowly roast it over a campfire. the aroma of the meat patty, mixed with the pine resin emitted by burning firewood. A puff of smoke, accompanied by a refreshing fragrance. Ah Song ate with satisfaction. After he had eaten and drunk his fill, it was getting dark. Ah Chong found some tree trunks. After splitting into small pieces, some are stored in the shelter. Make sure the campfire doesn't go out at night. Add some to the fire. The firewood was burning loudly. It can provide enough heat to the shelter. Ah Chong crawled into his sleeping bag early. Can stay in the shelter tonight. Sleep soundly. I've never seen such an awesome man. In the icy and snowy land at minus 30 degrees Celsius, a role-playing shelter, built using 300 logs. It has all the necessary living facilities. Even more so with a warm fireplace. I'm so envious. My squat toilet bowl feels so much smoother now. The man's name was Yong Chang. Obsessed with outdoor life. Resolutely. I quit my high-paying job that pays $1,800 a month. He plunged headlong into the dense forest. It is about fighting nature to the death. He searched and searched for a long time. Finally found a wind-resistant spot backed by a hillside. I decided to find my home in the wild, right here. He first cleared away the dry grass on the ground. Then he took out the handkerchief he always carried with him. Collect mica from nearby areas to build the structure. Like these naturally dead trees. It was not difficult to clean up at all. He then applied an exfoliating scrub to the log. Soon he started walking with cheerful steps. Humming a little tune, they carried back a pile of fine logs. He cut bamboo shoot tips and grooves at both ends of the log. Piece them together. The square frame that forms the shelter. Then, along the frame, the outline of the frame continued to dig downwards. This created the chicken coop of the shelter, thanks to the soft black soil on the hillside. This made his excavation work twice as effective. Yong Chang chose this land. It was because of the fertile soil here. He thought he would wait until next spring, plant some fruits and vegetables nearby, living a self-sufficient life. It didn't take much effort to dig a chicken pit more than half a meter deep. He reinforced the shelter's framework. Use a log pulp frame to support it. Considering the frame is suitable for direct soil contact, he did not undergo carbonization treatment, decided to wrap the frame with a waterproof layer. This not only prevents corrosion and moisture, it can also improve the insulation of the shelter. Because Yong Chang is building a role-playing sanctuary, so he only needs to cut a groove in the lower frame. Then fix another log in. As a pillar of the roof structure, use another longer log. As a measure of the roof. Thus, the basic framework of the shelter began to take shape. The initial construction work consumed a great deal of his physical strength. He intends make a hot drink to replenish some water. He added milkshake to the brewed coffee. A wild cappuccino is now ready. A sip of hot drink. Yong Chang's exhaustion vanished instantly. Full of energy, he began the next phase of construction. Considering the large temperature difference between night and night in the forest, the most urgent task is to create a lifestyle fireplace for heating. After he carved out the outline of the fireplace in the wall, then they went up to the top of the fireplace. Open up the smoke vent. This way you don't have to worry about waking up in the middle of the night. It's too difficult to see directly. Next is the construction of the roof. He went to the neighborhood to collect logs. With the help of that hot drink, with strength as big as an ox, they quickly collected enough logs. He calculated the position and fixed the log to the crossbeam. As the saying goes, love triangles are unreliable, but the triangular frame is exceptionally stable. Yong Chang, who deeply understood this principle, it was also used in the construction of the roof. Then simply remove the excess parts. Just be Yong Chang. As it gradually entered the stage of building a popular trend, the weather in the jungle changes as quickly as turning the pages of a book. It started raining and snowing without warning. Clouds and mist swirled around the distant mountain peaks, and the forest before us. In an instant, it transformed into a scene of silver-clad beauty. I want to get through tonight peacefully. Yongchang must overcome the obstacles posed by this severe weather. The sudden drop in temperature made him feel unbearably cold. He had to stop what he was doing, utilizing previously sawn log waste. Rekindle the flame of hope for yourself. With the warmth of the fireplace, to prevent Yongchang's body from getting too hot at room temperature. At this point, all the logs had been used up. He collected quite a lot more. The cold weather, coupled with the considerable physical exertion, Yongchang was starving by this time. He took out the steak, marinated with onions. Add 2 slices of butter to enhance the flavor. Wrap the rock in tinfoil, then throw it into the emerald green jewel. During the baking break, Yongchang began the finishing touches. With prior construction experience, he quickly finished building the remaining roof. Then he covered the roof with a layer of waterproofing, secure with logs. Then cover it with another layer of soil. Finally, cover it with another layer of dry grass. Such multiple layers of protection. Not only can it increase the fullness of the shelter, it also allows the shelter to blend perfectly into its surroundings. The shelter was now fully constructed. At the same time, the foil-wrapped steak was successfully baked. He was exhausted after a long day, enjoying delicious food in a warm shelter. Looking at the sunset in the distance, Yongchang is full of expectations for the life ahead.